Hi everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Blockchain Central. First of all, please note that this content does neither represent financial, legal, or tax advice, nor is it supposed to be understood or interpreted as solicitation to buy or sell any securities, coins, or tokens. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the blockchain technology called Ethereum. In a nutshell, it is a decentralized platform that runs smart contracts, and developers can program their custom apps on this blockchain. Over the course of this video, we'll take a closer look at the main features, and we will talk about the numerous use cases of the technology. We will also clarify what the typical terminology like decentralized apps or gas really means. Before we dive into the details of the technology, let's take a look at the basic concept of Ethereum. Similar to the other blockchain solutions, the Ethereum network is decentralized and consists of many individual computers called nodes, which communicate to each other via the Ethereum protocol. The interactions on the Ethereum network are cryptographically secure, so private data remains private and transactions or written data are immutable to undesired modifications. Until now, the Ethereum network is based on a proof of work, which means that the authenticity of transactions or data has to be verified by many nodes before it is permanently stored on the blockchain. This verification process is done by miners who provide computing power and receive tradable crypto tokens, so-called ethers. In return, in the future, Ethereum wants to change to a proof of stake approach, which we will discuss later in this video. So far, Ethereum sounds like most of the blockchain solutions out there, but what makes Ethereum so special and why is it so popular? One major advantage can be found in the use of smart contracts. The idea of smart contracts is not entirely new and goes back to the computer scientist Nick Szabo, who came up with this concept in 1994. Almost 10 years later, a Russian-Canadian programmer, Vitalik Buterin, introduced Ethereum and put smart contracts into action. But exactly what are they? Smart contracts can be programmed with Ethereum language and can self-execute when specific conditions are met. The Ethereum programming language, called Solidity, includes many commands and allows the implementation of all kinds of business scenarios within smart contracts. This function enables numerous possibilities, such as the automatic exchange of money, content, property, shares, or anything of value. But also complex transactions like an amortizing loan can be settled with only a few lines of code. Once both parties agree on a contract with an electronic signature, the fulfillment is guaranteed and contract is automatically executed. Imagine that. Whether you want to send money, buy a house, or transfer any value, you don't need a third party as an intermediator. Smart contracts reduce transaction costs to a minimum and enable transactions which were previously quite insufficient. In the era of IoT, Internet of Things, microtransactions such as a settlement on a short charging process of an electric car while waiting at a traffic light can be realized with smart contracts. The absence of middleman increases efficiency and the potential to disrupt several industries. Another interesting feature are decentralized applications, or in short, Dapps. Developers can build Dapps on top of the Ethereum blockchain and create their own solutions. There are many use cases such as identity management, crowdfunding, marketplaces, or even voting systems. The advantage of Dapps can be found in the security and the reliability of the system. Since the system is decentralized, it is, for example, practically impossible to attack the system with a denial of service attack, where vast amount of computers would send requests to a single server to interrupt the function of the service. In a decentralized network, it does not limit the availability of the service if the few nodes stopped working. This helps to reach a higher reliability compared to the centralized system. Ethereum can also serve as the base protocol for many applications and is therefore classified as a first layer blockchain. What does it mean? Well, developers can even issue their own tokens, which are based on the Ethereum network, and distribute the tokens in the individual ICO, initial coin offering. The new created solutions are then categorized as a second layer blockchain. What is the incentive for miners in the network to execute smart contracts or run decentralized apps? As is often the case in life, it is money. Depending on the difficulty of an operation, miners are compensated with Ether, or more specifically smaller denominations of Ether, with the name GUI. The difficulty of an operation is measured in the units of gas. Depending on current utilization of the network, the price of gas changes, and the product of the current gas price and the required amount of gas defines the total fee for the transaction. This fee structure incentivizes developers to program efficient smart contracts and ensures fair compensation of miners. As mentioned before, Ethereum is currently backed by a proof-of-work mechanism. This means transactions are based on a consensus of all participants of the network, which requires high computing power. The Ethereum team suggested a change to a proof-of-stake system and tries to convince the network to adopt the change. In this system, a validator makes a deposit, the stake, and validates transactions. If they do not obey the rules of the system, validators lose their deposit. As a consequence, less computing power and energy is needed to validate transactions to secure the network. Okay, so what can we take away from this video? First of all, you have learned that Ethereum is much more than just a cryptocurrency. Smart contracts can be run on Ethereum, which is based on the Solidity language and it allows for secure execution of business transactions without a middleman. Developers can also build decentralized applications on top of Ethereum and even distribute their own tokens. The fee structure ensures a fair compensation for the computing power of the nodes. In addition, the potential change of the proof-of-stake mechanism would increase the performance and efficiency of the Ethereum network. Therefore, it will be very interesting to follow the development of Ethereum in the future. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it and found this overview useful. If you have any suggestions for our future videos and would like us to investigate a topic, please leave your suggestions in the comments below. Also, make sure to hit the like button if you like this video and don't forget to subscribe to Blockchain Central to never miss a beat. Happy investing.